What is botulinum toxin anyway? What is Botox given for? How was it discovered? What does it look like? How does it work? How long does it last? Have you ever wondered about these questions? Let's have a look. Botulinum toxin was discovered due to sausage poisoning from undercooked food in the time of Napoleonic Wars from food shortage. Later on, we discovered the botulinum toxin bacterium that makes this toxin, purified the toxin, found its various serotype, and started using it for animal and human trials. This guy here is responsible for the initial detailed description of botulinum toxin. Justin Skinner even dropped the soup of the toxin onto his tongue, causing it to burn. He was so smart, he described the potential clinical uses of this toxin 150 years before the human and animal trials. This cartoon is what botulinum toxin looks like. The short tail is the light chain and the long tail is the heavy chain. Both these chains have their own specific function, as we will look in a minute. These two chains are bound together tightly due to these disulfur bonds, which are sensitive to heat and acid, a very important point to remember. This is the electron micrograph of what a botulinum toxin actually looks like. Let's have a look on how botulinum toxin actually works. This heavy chain in orange is responsible for the toxin binding to these specific nerve endings and for its uptake. Afterwards, it pushes the light blue chain out into the cytoplasm, where it goes and binds and blocks the release of these tiny bubbles into the nerve endings. These tiny bubbles contain acetylcholine. Blocking the release of acetylcholine blocks the neuromuscular transmission, causing muscle weakness. The clinical benefit of botulinum toxin injection starts 5 to 7 days once a minimum clinical threshold is reached. The benefit keeps on getting better until it reaches a peak at about 4 weeks. A slow gradual decline is usually not noticeable, but a loss of benefit is typically seen 2 to 2.5 months later. The benefit usually wears off by 3 months. If too much toxin is given, the curve can be too high, crossing the upper good line, reaching into the side effects, which is usually excessive muscle weakness. This cartoon here, which looks a little bit like me, shows all these twisted head positions due to muscle spasm, which is the primary indication for Botox injection. The muscle selection and the right dose in each muscle requires significant training to get it right. All botulinum toxin injections, including Botox, carry the black box warning that the toxin may spread beyond the area injected, causing a weakness in distant areas or botulism. Do not use these fake products. These look-alike toxin products do not have a good regulation of what is being put in this vial, so you never know if you're going to get enough or if it will be too much, and the results cannot be predicted right enough.